Okay, so I've wanted to make these cabbage dumplings for a really long time because they're really easy to make, but they're super, super decorative. And I thought because I showed you all how to make that bok choy and shiitake mushroom filling last time, which is what we will be using this time, I thought it really made sense because it essentially, like, the dumpling does look like a bok choy, it does look like a cabbage, and just, like, wow your friends because it's really pretty as well. You can obviously freeze them so you can make them ahead of time. So yeah, let's get started. So I'm starting off by making two different doughs. One is going to be white or off-white in color, and then the other one is going to be green for that cabbage leaf feel. And I'm using the boiling dumpling wrapper dough recipe from the Vegan Dim Sum cookbook, but I will put kind of all of the measurements down below. So for that bright green color, spinach is really your best bet. It stays super vibrant even after you cook it. And I use spinach puree, but you can go ahead and use spinach juice as well. And right now I'm kind of doing it by feel. I'm adding a little bit of liquid at a time just until the ball of dough comes together. It's a fairly firm or kind of like a little bit drier of a dough. So just add enough until it comes together. You'll see that I'm using boiling water for the white bit. Actually, you should use it for both, but for the spinach, I didn't want to boil it beforehand. And what you want to do is just let these guys rest for 10 to 15 minutes and everything will kind of soften up a little bit. And so then you can roll it into a smooth ball and then let it rest for about another 30 minutes until you're ready to roll out everything. So I actually placed these guys in the fridge overnight because I wanted to work on them the following day. And so they're a little bit hard now, but just so that you all know, you can make these a day ahead and then roll them out the following day. And so the way that I get the kind of like the look of the cabbage is to have the inside be white and then the outside be green. And you'll see it's actually, most of you can probably guess, it's quite easy to get that outside ring that's green. So we're just gonna wrap one in another. So in case if some of you over dusted with flour and it's kind of dry, I'm just using a little bit of water to make sure that all of the layers stick together. And you'll see that some bits of it are going to have a little bit more green than the other, right? Because there's an overlap. But that's completely okay because remember, we are trying to mimic cabbage leaves. And so actually even just rolling it out by hand and having irregularities that way is going to make the shape look really organic. I'm cutting 16 of these. I think it was 15, but it was supposed to be 16. And you can see that the dough is actually, it's not too dry, but it's on the stiffer side. And actually what the stage that you want to get it at is when you roll it out, that you really don't need to use much flour, if at all. The dough's feel, it should be a little bit tacky, but it should not stick. It shouldn't stick to the board. But you know, let's say you do. That's completely fine. Just dust it with a little bit more flour. And what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that it's a circular shape, and then I'm just squishing it down with my hand so that you get some nice flat discs to work with. So if you look at that and that, all of the irregularities are good because it just makes it look a little bit more realistic. I think at the beginning you can kind of push it out a bit and shape it. So just kind of using the heel where you can apply more pressure. Just go in, out, and as you're rolling it on this hand, you're spinning. Just flattening it out like this first. And then just rolling the edges. Does that focus? Here, focus. There. Okay, so I have the bok choy shiitake mushroom filling that I've made earlier. Just fold the left and the right, and I think the folds will kind of be a little bit cabbage-like. I mean, it's kind of a little bit wide, but maybe if you bunch it up a little bit, it's a little bit more like a cabbage there.